The whole point of the thing, Mick, is that it isn't just a standing up and saying this is an emergency, because then you've got to follow it up with some actions. And that means from then onwards, having declared an emergency, our council, as you pointed out, it has a vote next week whether or not the city of Greater Geelong will say that this is a climate emergency. If they do declare that, then from then onwards, they've got to take action because that is an emergency. When you've declared an emergency, you've got to do things. So every decision that you take after that point in time has to include the emergency.
You got the point there. And this is where the councillors really should be listening. Because, before climate change, environment, that was something that you would say, the Environment Department will deal with that.
Yep.
It's similar to in the government, where they would have the Ministry for Environment or something, Ministry for Climate. They deal with that. It's out there in the corner. Whereas if you declare a climate emergency, you take it in and say, every decision we make from here on we have to look at the climate effect on that.
We've all got used to the fact that over the course of the last quarter of a century, the last 25 years, every decision that's taken by our leaders, our governments, our councils, is always financially backed. They will invariably choose the cheapest option or the best option financially for them. We've got to now switch after declaring the emergency, and instead of saying, hey, which is going to cost us the least amount of money, we've got to start saying which is going to cost us the least amount of carbon emissions over the top of the money. Money's not important from here onwards, not as important. It's going to be all about... So when we're looking at the big thing that's facing our council at the moment, which is the breakdown of rubbish collection and recycling, instead of saying which is the cheapest option, can we get out of it by paying somebody to take over from SKM, we've got to start saying things like which is going to cost us the least amount of carbon emissions, rather than which is going to work out cheapest for us. That's going to be the way that things change.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to add to that a bit, Colin, in that the declaration, like you say, is the start. The work comes after it. But every single person who has lobbied council to declare this emergency has got to support them in their decisions, and it's got to be a community approach, and we've all got to be involved in the solutions.
The Sustainable Hour.
For a green, clean, sustainable Geelong. The Sustainable Hour.